What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. This is Fota Nzimbu. This is Nzimbu. Like I said before, my channel is nothing else. It's only for education purpose. I hope we can learn together. I hope you can gain something. I hope you can grow from everything that I'm gonna speak about, especially about parents, young people, how we can come together. Yes, a lot of my topic is gonna be touch about family, young teenager, the growth, the negative, a lot of negative. I'm gonna speak about, I'm gonna point finger in a lot of things. Yes, we're gonna disagree, but that's okay. I'm okay with that, but it's about education purpose. This is about education purpose. I don't want anyone to think I'm speaking hate. Sometimes I believe when we speak in a hate way, I think sometimes it's the best way for people to understand. You need to be brutal to let people know it's not about emotion. It's not about emotion. We like to get into emotion mode so we can try to embarrass the other. You know, that's what we like to do. Let's not do that because remember, the future is about our children. As you are parents. Nobody cares. I don't care. You, as a parent, you need to be selfish to say to yourself, the future is not me anymore. It's my children. It's my son and my daughter. It's my son and my daughter. Fathers and mother, you need to think like that. But every time when you're thinking the future is me as a parent, you're lying to yourself because do you know what? You don't build any legacy for your children. Do you know what you're building? Legacy of disaster. That's what you're building. That's what you're building. Legacy of disaster. It's like I have this thing I always said. There is that big tree. There is a big tree standing up in the world. That big old tree. That big old tree is so big. When you look from down, middle, you look all the way up, you're thinking, how I'm gonna reach that tree. But let me tell you these days, we have so many race in the world. And all of this race, we keep looking at that tree. Most majority of all of us, the race we're saying, who's gonna reach in that tree? Do you know what happened? The European, they start climbing that tree. The European nation, they start climbing that tree. They went all the way to the middle. In the middle, they went like, you know what? I think we can reach higher. Yeah. The European, they said, you know what? We're struggling to go higher on top of that tree. Do you know we're gonna go on top of that tree? They went on the top of that tree. The European nation, they went to the top of that tree. In that top of that tree, do you know what happened? The European, they said, you know, we can pass this tree, we can go further to the star. And do you know what the European they did? They passed the tree. They went further. And you have the Russia, they come, the Chinese, all them Indian, the Japanese, they climb that tree all the way on top. They try just the same as the European. First of all, they failed until they found a way to climb that tree on top. They went, you know what? We can reach it, or just like the European they did. And they went further. And they went further. They went to the star. But do you know what is happening to us black people? We're struggling to climb that tree. We're still in the bottom of that tree. We're still in the bottom in that tree. We're still in the bottom. I'm not putting blame to the black American. No, I'm putting blame to us African. Because you know what? If us African we were smart enough, we would have climbed that tree so we can reach on top of that tree and shoot to the star. We're supposed to teach our children better. If me as a father, I can't do anything, I can teach my children to know how to swim. I will teach my child how to swim. I don't understand science, but trust me, I'll find somebody that understands science so they can teach my child. If me as a father, I can't understand to be a carpenter, I need to teach my child to be a carpenter. If me as a father, I can't teach my child to be an iron worker, I need to find somebody that can be an iron worker, that can teach my son to be an iron worker and to be a framework of steel and building worker. That's how it's supposed to be. I need to find somebody to teach my child how to be a lawyer. I need to find my son a teacher how to be a doctor, how to be a mechanic, technical. I need Then people to teach my child if I can't do them thing. But parents, do you know why? Because I didn't find my way. My way it was a mess. I let my child to follow that way is all to be in mess. That's what is happening to black community. And it been happening like this for generation and generation, and it's still happening. How do you catch a thief when they don't show you properly? Do you know what? They're still gonna make a mistake. They will try to steal and have a dummy, they will follow. Even if that the person that they follow, he went to prison, they still gonna try to steal so themselves they can go in prison. Black people, let me tell you this. Do you know that before the American ancestor they went over there in America, you had the European, they lied to black people. They went to Africa as a missionary. Yeah. The European, they went to Africa as a missionary. They lied to our great, great, great grandparents. You, American ancestor, before they became a captivity of European. The European, they was there as missionary, preaching the gospel of God, but it was all a lie so they can murder your ancestor, the captivity of your ancestor to different location of the different countries, sell them in slavery, mistreat them in a cruelty way possible. So it's our job to teach our children. Let's stop playing games. So we're making it difficult for our children. Let me tell you why white children they're starting to be science, to be engineering worker, to be doctor, lawyer, carpenter, farmer, frame steel of building worker, to build bridges. Do you know what our children are doing? They're playing basketball, they're playing football, singing, dancing, smoking, drinking. I'm not saying we can't do all of that, but we need to slow down in all of that to put our children in a different direction of studying, different direction of a better future. But we don't do that. If it me, as a parent, I made so much mistake. Do you know what I do? I let my child to do the same thing. If I'm a smoker, I'll let my Negro son to do the same thing. If I'm a drug dealer, I'm letting my son to do the same thing. And that's the issue. If me as a mother, I do crazy stuff, I'm letting my daughter to do crazy stuff just like me. We don't know better. I'm teaching. If you, as a mother, I dance all the time, I want my child to dance. I think it was, look at this respect the way it was. My father once told me, said, back in the day, in the 50s, there was no radio, a lot of radio. There was only a couple of radio, like in the capital in Africa. He said, when they was growing to see a radio in the 50s, it was really hard in that time. But when there was a radio, music is playing. My father told me, said, when the music is playing, the father and the mother with the uncle, if they dancing, none of them children they'll be around because it was blasphemy for them to watch them dancing, just holding together dancing. Can you see the education that they receive? That's a better education. There was shame for their children to see them dancing like that. But this day and age we live in, oh my gosh, son will see a mother shaking the body. My Lord, my gosh. Father, mother, they dancing in front of their children. We are very strong in teaching our children how to dance and drinking. Very strong. Black people, we're very proud of that. We want our children to follow that stupidity way, that foolishness way. I call it foolishness of a way of growing. That's what we like. If he, my father, was a criminal, I wouldn't care. So probably I'm doing the same thing as my father was doing because there's no good education at home. Good education is start at home. We need more thinker in black community. We need more thinker. We need people that their consciousness is working. That's what we need. We need community to start coming together, not by singing and dancing. We need to gain, look, we need organization. So we know there is black family that they're working with other children to be carpenter, be iron worker, to be mechanic, being a lawyer. How did you do? Let me teach these children so they can spread the foundation among all these black people to be, a foundation. All of this, etc. Scientifics. We need all of this in our children's life. Let's build community around a home to rent places so our children can come together. The learning, everything is start when you're young. There is the black person, there is the black person that is good at scientific. Pay that black man. Say, really, I need you to be teaching our children in this community. Let's put them together, start teaching them. That's how we get smart. Once they start learning that, they're growing for that. I can't look. There is a community of a lot of black people that come together every single time they wanna dance, singing, drinking, smoking. But until we do that in community and studying, the same energy we put in dancing, we can give the energy so in studying to become a builder, to become a farmer, scientifics, technology, in engineering, mechanic. We can put the energy to our children. How come we're struggling to do that? How come we're struggling to put the energy to our children's life? That's one thing I don't understand. That's one thing I struggle to understand in the black community. You're walking in that street, you'll see there's a partying, music playing loud, black people are there singing, dancing, drinking very hard. But parents, they struggle to come together. They go, you know what? We're gonna rent this place. We're gonna rent this place and let's get our children so they can come together, study here. Let's bring a doctor, giving them scientific lesson in this, so they can learn and be better. We don't do that. But let me tell you this, if there's a party going on, that's when we bring our children. Let's go. When they start dancing, their parents, they're gonna start first dancing. It's like nothing in the world above us them. That's why you see there's a lot of failure in the black culture, black family. There's a lot of failure. Like I said, I'm a failure, but I'm not gonna hide in the crowd. I'm not gonna hide because do you know why? I'm a failure. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna hide. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna let you know I am a failure, but it's for you to understand that if he said he's a failure, it's because he doesn't want us to fail. He wants us to succeed. Yes, and I want you to succeed in life, to be better than me everywhere. Capacity in life, be better than me in so many principal ways. Studying, life, working, you have to do better. You cannot be worse than me. If I'm worse, you can't be worse than me. Let's forget about fast money. Let's forget about all of that. Let's put in work. Let's understand if we are ancestor, they getting smart by getting beaten up, getting murdered, but they still study by the white master. They gain some knowledge and they became better to be a farmer, to be a carpenter, to be a shoemaker, to be a lot of things that they became. They were building bridges. They were teachers as well. If they can do that in a harsh, cruel way, because they were suffering, they suffer. They really went through hell. But do you know what we did? As black people, we throw all of that. It's like it mean nothing. The only time we come together, we want to celebrate them to honor them in the death or the work. That's not how it should be. We should honor them by showing them, look at your descender, the way they became. They became great. They became better, not in sport, not in singing or rapping, dancing, not in that we 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 became one. We kept a lot of things. We became lawyer. We became doctor. We became judges. We became scientific people. We became a carpenter, an iron worker, shoemaker. We're strong in technology. That's what we need to strive for. We have to strive for that, but we don't do that. We'll celebrate the day of Martin Luther King. We'll celebrate that day. Martin Luther King, he was great. liberation of black people. No, Martin Luther King, he liberated black people. But you, as a parent, you are failure. Listen to Malcolm X. Why Malcolm X? That's a revolution. Malcolm X, that's a soldier. We celebrate all of this Martin Luther King Day, but we don't know what he did. Martin Luther King, he studied, he learned education. His parents, they told him education of life. That's why he was great. He inspired you because he had a good education. He studied to be great in life, not just about working, but you can see it when he's talking, the way he's walking, he conduct himself in a proper manners way, the way he's speaking, even the way he was. They still end up putting Martin Luther King in prison. They want to divide all of us. If we are closely united, the stronger we are. For oppression to corruption us, to divide us, they can't. But that's one thing we don't understand. We lay other people to control us because we're not smart, because we're dumb. Because you and I, we're dumb. We lay other people to control us in so many ways. But if you look closely, you can tell, you can see black people are not dumb. African, we shouldn't be dumb, but we became dumb. We want white European to colonize us again. That's what we want. We want European nation to colonize us. We want America to take control of us. America, they don't fix anything. Since America became independent through the British in 1700, when the America became independent, it took the country. Liberation, liberate or death. Henry Patrick, when he spoke, liberate or death. All white American, European white America in that time, do you know what they did? They celebrate, shouted very hard. The founding father, Patrick Henry, said, or liberation or death. But just imagine it. In that time, through slavery, colonization, 1800. Do you think a black person, when he said liberate or death, what people they're gonna celebrate on that? More like they're gonna murder that Negro. Yes, they won't murder the black person. They were trying to condemn hanging. Just I want you young men, black young men and female, fathers and mother, listen to Malcolm X's TED, listen to his interview. When he's talking to two white men, and there was another black man sitting down with them in the interview. You can see they're trying to control what Malcolm is trying to say. There was nothing, but everything Malcolm X is trying to speak and say to them, they're thinking he's speaking hate speech. Hate speech. This guy is speaking hate speech to us, he don't like this, blah, blah, blah. Man, shut your mouth. Malcolm X was speaking facts, but in that time, in the 50s, 60s, it was a harsh time for black people in America. Malcolm was speaking. Martin Luther King was speaking, but Malcolm was coming with fire. And the white, they didn't like that. Like I said, this is only for education purpose. I want you to try to analyze, try to understand where I'm coming from, rather than you thinking he's speaking, hey, trying to divide us or whatever. I'm not trying that. I'm not smarter than you. But it don't mean that I'm on a hide. I cannot speak the way I'm saying things. We've been held back, not by white people, by ourselves, by the system it created to hold us back. Yes. In America, in Europe, look at the African. They're running most of the country, but why they still not growing? Because you know why? They are puppet. Their master are the European. They controlling them. Look at the Chinese. The white master, they're no longer there. But the Chinese, what happened? They grew. They're more power country. So you Negro, you need to understand one thing. Your children, they should be priority number one to you. You need to understand that. I need to pull my soul and my mind to my children. So tomorrow they need to be better than you. Not you being better than them. They need to be better. And so you done your job. You went, okay, I will remove the circle of craziness around me. Now I can die in peace because you know what? I leave a legacy of my children. They became great so they can teach other. But we don't have that. We don't have that. Education in black community is so poor. Like Booker T. Washington said, we need Negro teachers for the Negro school, and we need first class normal school and college to train them. This is the work of higher Negro education, and it must be done. We need to do it. This is the work of higher Negro education, and it must be done. We need young people to come in. We need to train them. We have to train them. It's our job. We need to train them no matter what. They can like it or they don't like it. We have to train our children. This is the work of higher Negro education, and it must be done. If we don't do that, you know what? We're gonna keep being poor and poor, struggling and struggle. Nothing better will come on our children's life, just the way it's not in our lives. Our children, they're gonna miss that. Their children, they're gonna miss all of that. Because you know why? We was not bold enough to fight for them. Sometimes I always say this: it's not good giving freedom to people that they don't understand what freedom is. You have to fight for freedom. You cannot let people give you freedom. Here we go, there your freedom. No, fight for it. Take it so they can respect you. So they can respect you. Fight for your freedom, kid. Don't let it when they give to you, you should say, no, 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 I'm not taking it. Don't give me just like that. Fight for it. Fight for it. That's how it works. We are failure. We are failing our children so badly in a misery way. Failure became failure after failure after failure after failure. How many generations are we gonna keep going? And nothing is changing. In Africa, is so poorly in education in so many ways that I can think about. Since the time I can't even remember, we still in the same state. Even if we feel like our progression is making no way. Let me tell you, there is so many smart young black African children, so many smart young black people in Africa. But the system in Africa is so poor for children young to get a better job, to get better education. The struggle is still repeating. I hope I can touch even a one soul that can watch me pay attention and pass this video to another person. It will be much appreciated if we can try and teach each other and trying to understand each other, trying to help a young black man and female to be stronger and better. I'm gonna say this again, just like I'm gonna keep repeating this. Education and work are the levels to uplift a people. Work alone will not do it unless inspired by the right idea and guided by intelligence. Education must not simple teach work, it must teach life. It must teach life. We need to understand that. Oh, bless our ancestor because they were so inspired by their ancestor. They were so strong to learn. They strive from all the pain and the agony that they had on them. 24/7 hours they struggle to sleep by working for their master. Struggling to eat, struggling up to find a place to sleep. They're sleeping in the floor. Our ancestors, they struggle so badly because you know what? The wild master didn't give them no chance. Those that survived, they were the blessing. Those that died, they were the sacrifice for others to survive. Man, God, really, God, if God existed in that time, God really know how to leave us in a limbo, how to suffer in the hand of oppression. Oh my Lord. Jesus, our ancestor, they struggle badly, but we are struggling to fight the oppression in so many ways. Just to give something to our children, we're letting them to make the same mistake that we are doing always did. Can you see how bad this looks? Generation after generation. We are not getting beaten up 24/7 hours. No, we're not getting beaten up. Our ancestors, they went through all of that already. So they can open the path for us to walk through. But when we walk through the path, we made it bad for our children. Because our father, mother, father, their mother, they didn't care. Well, thank you for paying attention. I hope you did. I will catch you to the next video. This is Porta Rainbow. Peace.